polarizing over
Listen, y'all, I don't understand for the life of me why everybody is really trying to desperately go one direction. But then again, maybe I do understand. Maybe I really do understand because it seems to me everyone's so much more concerned with fitting in rather than standing out. And I don't understand that shit. I never understood it. My entire life, God has already set me up to stand out. And so that's how I move. That's how I operate. I mean, come on. It's in my style. It's in my body. It's in my confidence. It's the way I carry myself. I'm just now beginning to really translate my true self, my authentic self, and learn to translate through this camera, through to y'all, because it's still a transition process. It's a different process between, having these thoughts on my own and talking these thoughts amongst people rather than just talking amongst the camera. It's a bit weird for me because it seems I'm talking through to you through a medium, through the camera, but you have to give me some time. I'm still trying to adjust to it, so I'll get it in no time. I really will. I'm just putting my reps in at this point. But anyway, I don't understand it. And this is kind of like something that I've known for a while, but something that I really not really come to grips with, but something that I've been really trying to express to myself. For example, right? I understand, and this is an example anyone can relate to. I understand why there are people who don't like the Cybertruck, Tesla Cybertruck. I get it. I understand it. You might think, oh, it looks too blocky. Oh, it looks like bad graphics from a video game. Oh, it looks like this. And if that's your opinion, you're talking about these things to people who also find it an ugly thing, which I personally find it to be absolutely gorgeous. That's the point. That's the genius behind what Elon Musk is doing. It gets you talking about it. Because when you see it, that's the first thing you notice. You don't notice any other car on the road except for that one because it just stands out. And that's the point. It stands out. It gets you talking about it. You come to extremes with something like that. Either you love it or you hate it. There is no in between. And I've been expressing to you guys this in many of my videos. You cannot afford to be in the middle. You have to either be on the left or on the right. You either got to be rich or you got to be poor. It's either going to be black or it's going to be white. We are in the era of extremes. You cannot afford to stay in the middle. You're going to have to pick a side. And you waste your time. And you do this at the detriment of yourself because you're really robbing yourself the opportunity to truly stand up for something. And most people cannot stand up for anything because they don't even know who it is that they are. And that's what I'm trying to get at. And that's what I'm trying to communicate to y'all. You see, I'm someone who is unapologetically myself. I have no fear of standing out. I cannot, for the love of God, fit in. I was never meant to fit in. I was always meant to stand out. Look at this shit. Look at this hat right now. You see this? Yeah, now it's in focus. You see this? Red Cardinal on there. Shout out to the Guru Bros. It's limited edition. They won't resell this shit. It's a collector's item at this point. It says center with a red cardinal. Stained glass design. Not just on the brim, on the inside too. You see that shit? That's part of my own personal style. I like fly shit. I like shit that I like to wear and I wear it unapologetically. That's what I do. I am unapologetic. I do not give a fuck about what anyone thinks of me. If you don't learn anything from this video, is that I genuinely do not care about the opinion of other people. Not because I don't respect their opinions. I respect everyone's opinions. Everyone has a right to their opinions. However, when it comes to living my life and doing what it is that I do for me, I don't care. I don't care. Listen, I'm as polarizing as ever before because I've accepted this era of extremes. And to be a polarizing figure, and I said this in a previous video of mine, to be a polarizing figure in today's world, all you simply need to do is just be yourself. That's it. If you have the courage to stand on your own 10 toes down and be who it is that you are, you're going to be polarizing by default and you know why? And it's an unfortunate reality and it's an unfortunate realization. You become polarizing by default because most people are afraid to be themselves. They capitulate and they get along and they go along and they get along for fear of being kicked out of the social group. I don't give a fuck about your social group. Because of that, I attract people who are genuinely supposed to be in my life. That's the point. I want real around me. I want greatness around me because I am real and I am great. You see the difference? You see, I don't give a fuck about fitting into your groups. I walk my own path. I blaze my own trail. I make my own trends. I don't care about what this celebrity does. I don't care about what this athlete does. I don't care about what this influencer does. I go my own way. I blaze my own path. This is my way, my style, my life. What good is it for me as a king to follow the trends of others? Now, it doesn't mean that I can't take what it is that I see as cool, what it is that you're doing, or what it is that you're doing, and try to adopt it in my own life to become greater. I'm not saying that. I'm not so far removed. But at the same time, I don't give a fuck about trying to follow along and get along just to get y'all to like me. People need to operate with this level of influence and this level of spirit, this high vibrational way of living. Like, you just need to be yourself and you need to just live your life courageously. You need to be yourself courageously, but you can't have a fear of standing out. Social media, your social groups, friends that you had for years, maybe your coworkers, whatever, right? Family members, they check you whenever you want to do something different because they don't want to see you leave the social group. They don't want to see you potentially elevating above them. You have to have the courage to step out and do things your way. Now, that doesn't mean that your way is always going to be the right way. Sometimes you're going to make mistakes. Sometimes you're going to fuck up. But that's the point. You're not going to know what works. You're not going to know what hits. It's the same mentality that I apply with my content creation. At this point, I'm just throwing shit at the wall and seeing what sticks. Getting my reps in while I'm doing it. Learning how to communicate more effectively to the camera. It's just this exercise. This is working this muscle. And as I work this muscle, the more that the IDGAF muscle is worked. And in case you ain't know, it's the I don't give a fuck muscle. At some point, y'all have to stand for something. Y'all have to pick a side and you have to unapologetically be yourself. And you can't be afraid to cut some people out because a lot of people are not going to rock with who it is that you are. A lot of people ain't going to fuck with you. And that's a good thing. It's a good thing because you've weeded out all the snakes out of your garden. You're keeping your grass cut low to watch out for the snakes. Those who are supposed to be with you are going to be with you. Those who are not supposed to be with you, they ain't going to fuck with you. And that's okay. And it doesn't have to be that way. But you can't go on and continuously live your life in fear of being kicked out of the group because you're just trying to fit in. Because I get it. It's the human need to be liked. It's the human need to fit in and to belong to something, to belong to a group, to feel comfortable. You need backup from your friends, your family. I'm going to be completely honest with you right now. I am an army of one. I don't give a fuck about any of that. I am who I am, and all I need is God. All I need is God, and I move forward. It's that simple. And those who are supposed to rock with me, God puts into my life, and we push forward together. Everyone else, listen, I got nothing but love and respect. I got no smoke with no one. But let me be absolutely clear. This is my path. You got one or two options. One or two options. You can either hop on a board, that's option A, or option B. Actually, there's two options within option B. Option B, A, you can get the fuck out the way as I'm moving forward. Or option two, or option B2, you can stand in my way, but you're going to end up getting run the fuck over because this is who I am. I'm not changing. Now, I may evolve as a person. I may evolve as a human being. I may have different perspectives. I may learn a few things here and there. I may come to my own conclusions, or maybe someone else has a better idea how to approach things than I do, and then I adopt what it is that they got going wrong right, because at the end of the day, I'm just trying to win. The only thing I give a fuck about at this point is winning. So if I'm trying to win, why would I not listen to winners? You know what I mean? You got to already have the mentality of a winner to move like the winners. You don't have to have the money first. Your character doesn't have to all the way be there yet, as long as you're on the path. You don't even have to have the body yet, or the style yet, or the confidence yet. But as long as you're on the path and you're doing God's work and you're doing the hard work and you're not trying to cut corners, you're going to get there. You're going to be him and you're going to be the man. And when you're him and when you're the man, you automatically stand out. That's facts. You automatically stand out, and you ain't got to capitulate or apologize or try to get along for the sake of being loved and respected. I don't seek validation from other people. And the irony is, if you unapologetically move in your own sovereign spirit, people will seek approval from you. I don't fit in. I stand out. It is what it is. This is how I'm rocking. This is what I'm doing. This is where I'm going. This is how I'm going to be. I've always been this way. Whether I realize it or not, looking back in hindsight, it completely makes sense and it goes full circle. It was always going to be this way. My ascension, my greatness, my success is inevitable. It is. It's inevitable. You can't stop me. You can't stop me. And if you try, you're just going to get run over. Because I got a great power backing me up, and you're just a speed bump, honestly. You are an inconvenience, a roadblock. Just get out of my way or hop aboard. But here's the deal. I'm not going to change for you. I am what I am, and I have the character to know and to be aware of my shortcomings, of what it is that I'm doing wrong. But I'm not going to apologize or capitulate to you just to get you to like or respect me. I am what I am. I do the work, and I will earn your respect by default. And if you don't give it to me, I don't really care, because I know that in the back of your mind somewhere, oh, he's that guy. I don't like him. I don't like what he says, but he's that guy. It's like Donald Trump. You guys can talk all the shit that you want, but at the end of the day, he's a winner. You don't have to like him. You don't have to respect him. It doesn't matter. It doesn't change the fact that he's a winner. Floyd Money Mayweather Jr. talks his shit, but he can back it up every single time. Why? Because he's a winner. You see, these people don't care about how you feel. And they get to that point because their I don't give a fuck muscle has developed to a point to where it's swole as fuck. Because they are unapologetically who it is that they are. They're not trying to impress you. This is the life of people who stand out. This is the life of those who don't try to follow the trends of others and the ways of other people. And most people aren't bad people. Most people are actually good people. But they will all fall short. You will all fall short because you're afraid to stand out. God has created you to stand out. If God has created you in his image, why the fuck would you settle for average and ordinary when he's anything but? It's an affront to God and it's an affront to you, but you don't see it as an affront to you because you're not willing to do the work. And you're too afraid, you're scared. Listen, when I go outside, and I'm going to end it with this. When I go outside and I film my vlogs, for example, and I'm talking to the camera outside with my stabilizer, I look around as I am doing this and as I'm talking to the camera, and I realize something. Every single time, I am the only one doing this shit. And that brings, the thought of it brings a smile to my face, and it puts joy into my spirit, knowing that I am doing what most of these people will never do, and that they can't do, what they're afraid to do, but they want to do. They want to do this, but they don't have the courage to do it, because you just have to be willing to go through the humiliation ritual. You just got to be willing to be made a fool for a short time. They will laugh at you, yes, and that's okay, because at the end of the day, you will get the last laugh. Remember that. But don't be afraid to stand out, guys. Listen, whether you stand out or not is irrelevant. I'm still going to win regardless. You can either win with me or win without me, but as long as you're winning. Otherwise, most people are just going to lose because they're not capitalizing off the things that God has naturally gifted them. So I'm going to be me, and I want to motivate and inspire y'all to do the same, okay? I'm no different from y'all. I'm just willing to do the work. I'm just willing to put myself out there. That's the only difference. And I really don't give a fuck about what people think, and neither should you. I'm going to catch you all on the next one. I got shit to do. Deuces.